So here we are at Disney Park, opened in 1991 to 92. This was like the second park that expanded in European countries. The first was, of course, Disneyland Tokyo. I'm gonna show you the whole park. Might take 15 to 20 minutes tops, so I'll make a quick rundown on just about everything in the park before. Okay, so this here is, of course, what everyone knows pretty damn well about. It's the Main Street USA. It's just like all the other Disney parks. Basically, this is where Walt Disney was born and raised at. It's kind of unique. It has many restaurants and shops. Basically, it's more souvenirs. Certainly has an interesting vibe, that's for sure. Oh my god, there's like a lot, big ass line here. Excuse me, what? Excuse me, what? Excuse me, what? It looks like I have to take a shortcut through the Liberty Arcade. Alright, so basically, Main Street Arcade is filled with diners and shops. Got two different types of sections. One section is the Discovery, and the other is Liberty Arcade. What makes this arcade a little different than the others is it describes about the history of this creation of the Statue of Liberty, which was delivered from the French. You've got to admit, they managed to put up a lot of detail within this area. And I believe this is where the Statue of Liberty, this is where they show the exhibit for the Statue of Liberty. I wish I could show you that, but I'm a little pressed for time, so let's continue on with the tour. Okay, so basically this is like the main attraction of all the other attractions in the park. Now, I know it might look like any type of castle in Disney, with the exception of different designs and stuff. But what makes this different is that underneath has a fire-breathing dragon. Of course, I'm practically kidding. It's just an animatronic version of a dragon, but it's somewhat of an interesting deal, because you go into it, you're gonna be surprised that there's a big dragon underneath this castle. Very spectacular. All right, now I'm gonna take you to different sections of the park. There's 4 different sections, of course. One is Frontierland, which we're about to enter. The other is Adventure Isle. Another is Fantasy Island. And the last one is Discoveryland, which I'm pretty sure you guys might be a little confused. It's kind of like Tomorrowland, except it's mostly like World Fair type stuff. Okay, the moment you enter this section, it's actually you get to see this big Thunder Railroad. Another main attraction they always put in all 4 parks. I know that they're trying to expand it with the next. Expand it with the Disneyland Hong Kong. So yeah, if we get that expansion going on, it's going to be more like 5 parks now during the railroad. I gotta admit, this is by far the most funnest coaster ever. There are other coasters here and in Studio Park, but this one's by far the most favorite. Over here is of course the Phantom Mansion. Although being that this is in the Frontierland, it's perfectly known as Phantom Manor. Now there's a story behind that. It involves a bride marrying a groom, and then there was a mysterious murder, and the bride has to remain in the castle until the groom arrives because she doesn't realize that he was murdered. At least that's as far as I'm concerned. Now basically that attraction is kind of the same. Went there 3 times now. The only difference they made is the card dealing in the saloon area. I'm not gonna get more into that ride much. I don't want to spoil much, but it's a pretty fun place. I might recommend it. Of course, they also have like eating establishments and such within the park itself. Always a bit enjoyable once you stay here long enough. Over there is of course a shooting gallery, which is like any other shooting gallery you encounter. What makes this Frontierland remarkable is that Disney always is a big fan of the Old West, and he created this park to let everyone relive this type of adventure. I know it's not pretty much, but it's kind of fun. Okay, now we've entered Adventureland, or Adventure Isle, whichever way you prefer. It's pretty much a long walk trying to reach this park, so I'm going to give you a little bit of details on Indiana Jones. Now, as far as I know, there are 3 different types of Indiana Jones and 3 different types of parks. The one in MGM or Hollywood Studios is somewhat of a stunt show. The second one in California is mostly like you go on a Jeep and you ride around. It's the same thing that goes with Tokyo. As far as it all goes, it's all pretty unique in any type of way imaginable. But this park, it's more like a roller coaster than that of any of the 2 combined. And there it is, Indiana Jones et le Temple du Peril, or in English, it's the Temple of Peril. It's a pretty unique ride experience, and this is where the coaster is at. It's just only a tidbit of it. The whole thing is like insane. If you want to participate in that ride, I don't mind much, but you're gonna get your brain rattled. Now, I don't know if you see much, but that's actually the Pirates of the Caribbean ride, right there. It's just the original type of ride. There's no Johnny Depp or any refurbishment whatsoever. It's all original. Though I think I've heard that they're gonna do it here in Paris, so I don't know when. But obviously it's a very popular ride, and well, you can't blame the integrity of that thing. Alright, moving on, we're now entering Fantasyland. This is of course one of those fairy tale adventures. They have mini rides in these things like Peter Pan's Flight Adventure, Mr. Toad's Wild Ride, Snow White. They even have other stuff too. They have Alice in Wonderland and Maze, the Casey's Choo Choo, which is a pretty old one. Over there is the Dumbo ride, very popular one for the kids. And here's like carousel. Important stuff, though I kind of find it a little kiddish on my occasion. I tend to ignore this type of things. And over there's like the Mad Hatter ride. That's that one. And of course over here is the It's a Small World ride. Though again, a popular attraction. Though it is too kiddish as well, it has a tendency to make people get annoyed to hell with that song. Boy, you could imagine how freaked out I was with that song in my head all the time. But on the brighter side, oh, sorry. In Epic Mickey, they had like a twisted version of It's a Small World. So it's pretty. That was pretty sweet. I got the Epic Mickey game myself. And I enjoyed every bit of it, showing what a park looks like in a dark, twisted world. Although I could understand that Yahtzee from Zero Punctuation thinks it's a little bit tedious with the fetch quests. I can't imagine that, but hey, if you want to get through the storyline, you have to get through some fetch quests, right? Okay, we're about to enter Discoveryland. Okay, first stop is Videopolis, which is of course a dining establishment where you can watch a movie. I did a video for this for the arcade version. You might want to check it out yourself. Back there is the Star Tours. Now, Star Tours, I mean, it's kind of original. People enjoy it, but it's a little too boring on some occasion. You already know what's bound to happen. But they did some refurbishment and made a Star Wars 2 out of it. So I'm pretty sure they're going to do the same thing to both Paris and Tokyo, hopefully. Back there is actually the Captain EO Theater. Now they used to have like a Honey, I Shrunk the Audience movie here. But Captain EO is like an instant classic for Disney. It became one of the greatest things ever. Unfortunately, they kind of shut down and made this park. So in honor of Michael Jackson, his legacy, they revamped the theater. I gotta make it quick. This thing's low on battery power as it is. Okay, so over here is the Orbitron, which is the spinning ride. Buzz Lightyear, more of the video dining establishment. All the way back there is like the 2000 League Under the Sea exhibit. And of course, last but not least, Space Mountain. Now I have got to admit, this is by far the craziest ride I have ever been on. Honestly, unlike the other two Space Mountains, this one has a whole different story, a whole different meaning. Seriously, if you guys want to come to this park, you might have to go on this one first. This one will blow your mind. So that's it. That's the Disneyland Park in its entirety. I'll see you back with more videos and hopefully more things to talk to you about.